Hello and welcome back to my videos. This video we're going to speak about the project called component logging, and in this video I want to show how we can create the logs. So in the previous video we have creating all the basic content, but in this video I will show how the creating process is creating up and how we validate about the different fields. I will change a little bit in the ODM and I'll create a new class for in the library called logging. So we have both logging as a class, and then we have the Flask logging, so we know this is the part of the Flask. So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's starting a little bit, I think. But before we are starting, I really hope you want to subscribe to this channel. You can go in the right corner below and then click on the ding. If you have any questions about me, about the project, about anything, then just leave a comment down below. I will appreciate to answer you. I really hope you want to like and share this video when you have watched it to the end. And yeah, that's it. I think we are ready to go and start coding. So let's jumping directly into the ODM. We need one stuff here, and the first one we're gonna do is say auto create index, and we want to set it to true, and then we say index in background. We want to set this to true. That's meaning when we are creating, when we insert the log message, it will starting to index in the background. So if you have a lot of entries, then it's not blocking everything before there is indexing. And it's very useful when you're thinking about if you put like in half 500 million logs inside to the database, then this will be a pain if you need to re-index every time and you need to block the database for this, and so that's why we do this. We're going up here to the tags, and we only allow text field inside, because why use everything else? So that's what I'm going to do. Now we are done with the ODM, so we are ready to go inside to the logging Flask here, and we're scrolling a little bit down until we isn't going in the area here with the crate, and then we are ready to start coding about what we're gonna do. The first we want to do now is we want to check the identifier from the request headers, so we know which identifier we work with, and then we need to check the development environment, sorry, so we know which environment we are working with. We already have checked this based on the middleware, and in this point where we hit this, we already know which identifier and which environment we are working with. So that's what I'm gonna take in here with the headers. And then to scroll up here and take this in, headers, get, and then we need to go to the postman in just a minute. And then we go back here and going for the headers, just copy this, and the same with the environment. So now we basically have the identifier and the environment. Now we need the JSON data we post inside, and just say get JSON data, and then we are ready for building the function inside here. So let's creating the function here and call it logging. Create a class called logging. Inside this one I want a static method, and I call this static method for insert, and we want the data should be a dictionary, and we need an identifier. You can take the word here, this should be a string, and then we need the environment, this should be a string too. Right now I just say return true, and then we're going nothing. Let's chat back, sorry, and we need it up here and say from library logging import logging, and see it's not conflicting with this one because it's a big L and the system is a small l, and we are placing the logging about inside the library. If we put the logging in the root, then import logging will mean the same, like we will overwrite the other one, and we don't interested in this. So that's why when I'm building classes and something like that, I place it in the library folder. You can call the library for anything you want, but for me it's working pretty good, so I keep this in this way. Then we are going down here, say response, and message is equal to logging insert, and then we need to data here, data, and identifier is equal to identifier, and then environment is equal to environment. Based on the data here, we got the response back about what happening, and we say if response is true, then we just say everything is going pretty good, and we just say logging debug message. And if everything is not going so good, then we make an else statement here, and we want to trigger an error because it's not correct. I want to use the status code 407, and it's because this expression failed. So that's the command for the HTTP, and that's what's happening in this case. And we want to send the message out again. So just for test purpose, I just need to see what happened here. It's because we get data here, so it needs to JSON, so that's correct. That's going back for the postman. If I'm pressing send here, and I have the dummy data here, if printing send, it should be okay. So for now everything is running perfectly, and we trigger the logging insert function, and now we're basically just going back for this function and code the rest of the function to get it work. We need we know we need to handle with the datetime, so I will just import the datetime here, and then we need the ODM logging, import logging as ODM logging, and then we need the logging data as ODM logging data, and that's what we're gonna import here. And why I'm calling it ODM, it's because I want the collection in the database called logging, and when I'm importing this, it's probably with the same classes inside. So I just do it for secure reason, to not having something to conflict in my code when I'm done it, and that's why I do it in this way. And in the postman we have here, I have the summary, I have the description, I have create, tags, and binds, and we need one more, system, and we just call it forms. That's the data we need. So the create here, it could be empty, but it could be filled out with the data. So I could say 2020, and today we have the 3rd and the 8th. So let's just, for fun, I'll just change it to 15. And then we have a clock. I'll just say it should be, it's always in the UTC time, this one. So I'm just converting a string to a UTC. So that's meaning if you do it in a local time zone, then when you put it inside, it's not react under the time zone. So next time you take it out, it will react different. So please just sending in the UTC format inside in this field, in the string field. And why we do it in the string field? It's because I'll be sure on different language the date time will be in the correct format, so we don't damage the timestamp we want to put into the Mongo database. and the time should be, let's say 14, sorry, and 20, and the second should be 31. That's what we're gonna do. And the tags, we only have test1 and test2 and test3, and then we have a bind. We just call the ID, we call it product 1 2 3 4 5 6, and the summary is a new product insert. And when we want to say something in the description, I think description could be leave empty. It could be have something yeah, it could be leave empty, because not always you want the description. The summary is sometimes is enough, but else you can say product insert with product ID 1 2 3 4 5 6, because then we have the 1 2 3 4 5 6 here, and we have it here, and we want to tag it like test 1 2 and 3. And this is not a system, we can just say it's a system is creating it. So that's the data we want to work with right now, I think. So let's going back to the code, and let's first, to be sure, the create data want to work. So if not the data created at, then we need to create it at is equal to date time UTC now. And as I speak before, it's because we need this, and I want this one if not in data, or that's basically just meaning about if it's not in and it's empty or something like that, then it's will working. So let's just test it out again. Else we want to say try to catch it up and say created at date time, whoops, and then we need to say string p time and data. We just want this one, and year, month, day, we need hour, minute, seconds. And if something happening here, let's just say you're sending the wrong time format, then we want to send it out, and I'll just say return false, and the message should be created at did not contain the right date format. And then we basically just copy this one and put it inside. So let's try this out and see what's happening. Right now it's already crying, and that's probably because we don't have the right format, and I'm pretty sure because I'm saying the 15, that's not correct. It should be this way. So let's send it again and see how it's react. Now it's okay, and if I'm coming this out and send it up, it's saying bad request because the JSON is failed. And that's very interesting about what's happening. It's because I'm thinking we should have it in comments, but it's not allowed, so I'm just sending without the comments. And now you can see it's okay about that. So I'll just try to remove this. I'm not 100% sure about that, but I'm not thinking that's working because the created at does not exist inside, and that's why I'm checking it. But let's try. So you can see the connection to Mongo failed because it's having the create here. So let's roll it back and test it again and see what happens. That's okay. Now we are validating about the created at. So the next step, I think, it should be about the summary, description, binds, and the system. So that's what we're gonna work with now. So let's validate about the description. So we want to say if description not in. I'll just say if it's in data and not. No, we don't validate the description because we don't need that, so I'll just say not in, and then I'll change it to summary. And in the data and it's not. It should be in or here. Then we want to return false, and we want to say summary, you need your summary can't be empty. And we have the same like if bind not in data or type. Bind is different from list or length of data. Binds is equal to 0. Return false. And we need to say binds, your binds need to contain at least one item. That's fine. And then we have if system in data and type system is different from boolean, then we say return false. System, your system need to be boolean. And I think basically that's what we work with, and not type are different from string or yes, and we can type check it. Elif, let me go down here and say your summary need to be a string, and we need the same here. If we just copy this and in here, if it's in and the date type, your description need to be a string, and here we go. I think that's what we're gonna do now. So let's testing a little bit. We're just sending about everything here is working. We remove summary. Your summary can't be empty. That's correct. I'll just replace this with a number, and now say it needs to be a string. The description should be working. That's fine. And if I put something in the description, 1, 2, 3, it's saying that's not allowed. And then we have the bind. Oops, we remove the bind. Its bind need to be at least one item. And then we have an empty bind. It still contain. And then we say that's okay. The system should be, it's allowed, and that's not correct. So it's something here. So if system in data and we just, okay, that's fine. because we have this one. So let's test again, and we get status OK. And if I'm say 1 2 3 4 here, and it's not correct, if I say 0, it's still not correct, so I can just say true, and that's okay. So that's working as we want. So now it's time to add the data. So log data is equal to ODM logging data, and log data is equal to summary, and I'll just say summary here, and then we just say the description. We have it here. If in data else nothing, else none. I will just say this one we don't need it. If description in data, and then we just do it here. And why I'm not using the if statement here is because I don't want the description be inside the database when we're done, if it's not inside. And then we just say logging data created at is equal to created at we have passed before, and now we need to add the log. So logging ODM logging here, and then we just say identifier, and we have it here, and environment, and here we go. We just need to go in for the ODM one more time. Okay, it's not required, so I'll just say required here, true, and create required true, and the description is not required, and required true, and that's perfect for us right now. And then we're just going back for this one and see what's happening. And going for log, and then I need the data, log data, we have it here, and log binds is equal to the binds up here. Where we're going, we are here, and then log tags is equal to tags if tags in data else we're just sending nothing. We are just, that's fine, and then log created at. This is the time we are hitting the request component, the logging component, sorry, and that's why we can't control this, because it's okay, I'm changing the date for the logging, but I need to see which time it's hitting the log. So that's what we're going to do. So, and then we say insert log message succeeds, and that test about it's okay. Send it in and send it. It's fine. We go in here to see the data here. Yeah, sorry for the view. I don't think I can zoom in. Display. No, I cannot zoom in, and that's very annoying. But you can see the log here. We have everything inside. It's development and it's a test, and we have the summary here, description. So let's testing a little bit more. We know the tags, the description, and the tags is not required, and the system is not required. And now we have three elements here. You can see the first one is about without description. It should be inside here. You can see no description. The second one in the without tags, and it's empty. And the last one should be a system should be false, because we don't send anything inside. That's perfect. The only thing we need now, it should be about the another. and I think that's a little bit here. And we have the logging here with another field, and we're going back here and say another, and I'll just put it inside here, another ODM, and then we just prepare for this one from ODM and other, import another as ODM, and then we are good to go inside here. Name, and just need this one, identifier, and the identifier is not like test, it's the user ID, and need to set required true, so you cannot sending them. It's okay, you can sending another inside without the last one. It's optional, but the name we need if you need that, and then we need the IPv4, and then we have the IPv6 if you want that. And then we just say another here, and that's working pretty good. So what I think could be nice now, it's to minify the code, but I think that's not in this video because it's always a little long, but let's see what happening. I will going back here for the postman, and then I will add another field, and the only thing I want inside here should be name, and then I want to say Paris guys, that's my name. Surprise, if you're following my channel, about clicking on the thing below in the right corner, then you know already my name is Paris. So I'm sending it in and everything is okay, and what gonna do here should be if and other in data, and then we just put inside here. Until that we gotta do say none, because if we are going down below here and say if and other, if not, if something inside, yeah, that's correct. And I know there should be name inside, and you can say the identifier. I just want a little more simple inside here, so you just do this. So if identifier in yes, and we need this for IP before, and we need it for IPv6. And that's what we're gonna do now. So I'm not validating this, so not for now, because I think we need to make some validation about the IP address and something like that. So let's go ahead again and save it and see what's happening. The last one here should have another, should be named, yes. So now I'll just add the identifier. My user ID should be 1000, let's say that, and then my IPv6, IPv4 should be this one, and IPv6 should be this one. Should be around this. Yeah, that's correct. That's the local host for IPv6. And let's send it in again and see what's happening. And it should be inside here. And it's working pretty well. So that's how we are working with creating the message. And you can see you have a lot of different ways to do this. And that's working pretty good. So thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed this. And remember, you can always download the source code from the GitHub. The link will be in the description, and I will probably have a Docker image on my Docker Hub profile. You can download completely free with the code, so you can just spin it up if you want to test it and play around with it. So that's it, and I really hope you want to subscribe to this channel. You can go in the thing below in the right corner and press the thing, of course. And if you have any questions, please make the comments below. I'll try to answer them as fast as possible. And don't forget to like and share. Thank you so much, and hope to see you next time. See you. Bye.